I still see their faces when I close my eyes. I remember the night I held a stranger's photograph in my hands and spoke words that almost destroyed his life. His cries still echoes in my dreams. His suffering was real, and I was the one who caused it. My name is not important. What matters is my confession. I was once a servant of darkness. I lived in the kingdom of evil, where we use people's photos to harm them. Today, I serve Jesus Christ. I have left that life, but the memory is born inside me like fire. I must tell the truth so people can protect themselves. What witches do with your photograph, what witches do with your photos is more dangerous than you can imagine. Let me tell you what I personally did. This is my confession. In the dark kingdom, a photo is not just a picture. A photo is a connection. When we get your photo, we get access to your life, your body, your health, your peace, your destiny. Your face becomes a door. Your image becomes a spiritual address. We don't need to see you in person. Your photo is enough. I was trained to use them. I was proud of my power then. Today, I am ashamed. There was a young businessman. His name was Daniel. A woman brought his photo to our gathering. She was jealous of his success. His business was growing, and she wanted him ruined. I remember placing his photo inside a black bowl filled with strange powders and oil. We called his name repeatedly. We spoke words of confusion over his life. Within weeks, everything began to collapse for him. His goods were stolen. His customers disappeared. He began to have terrible nightmares, but we did not stop. One night, we pierced the photo with needles while chanting. We targeted his mind. Soon after, he started losing focus. He forgot important things. His workers left him. His company crashed. Years later, after I left that life, I heard he survived by the mercy of God. And I know what we did, and the guilt still follows me. There was another beautiful lady. Her name was Grace. She did nothing wrong. Her only crime was beauty. Another woman envied her and brought her photo to us. She said no man should marry her. We worked against her marriage. We placed her photo inside a clay pot and sealed it. This ritual was meant to lock her destiny. We spoke delay into her life. After that, strange things happened to her. Every relationship failed. Men would suddenly lose interest. Wedding plans were cancelled without reason. I remember watching spiritually as she cried alone in her room. I heard her prayers, but we continued our work. Today, when I remember her tears, my heart breaks. I cannot forgive myself easily. This is one that haunts me the most. A small boy, only 7 years old. A family member brought his photo because of inheritance issues. They wanted the child weak and sick so he would not grow strong. I was there when we performed the ritual. We used the child's photo and called sickness into his body. We declared weakness over his future. We tied his progress spiritually. After that night, the boy became constantly ill. He was always in the hospital. Doctor could not explain the sickness. He would cry and ask his mother why he was always in pain. That memory still makes me weep. How could we be so heartless? People think witches only look at photos. No, we speak to them. We mark them. We connect to the person's spirit through them. Sometimes, we will sleep with the photo under a dark altar, burn the edges while calling the person's name, bury the photo in the ground to bury someone's progress, pierce specific body parts in the image to cause sickness, lock photos inside container to block success. Each action had meaning. Each ritual had consequences, and people suffered. For many years, I felt no guilt. My heart was hard. But one night, during a ritual, something happened. We had gathered to work against a man whose photo was brought to us. As we began the operation, I suddenly felt a powerful light in the room. I could not continue. My body shook. Fear I had never known entered my heart. That was the beginning of my escape from darkness. From that moment, I started seeing the pain we caused. I began hearing the cries of victims in my dreams. I realized we were destroying innocent lives. I wanted freedom. I wanted forgiveness. But living the kingdom of darkness is not easy. But the night I declared to leave, I became their enemy. I was warned that anyone who tried to escape would suffer madness, sickness, or sudden death. Fear surrounded me. Strange shadows followed me. I could not sleep. I heard voices calling my name in the night. For weeks, I was attacked spiritually. I would wake up with marks on my body. I saw the same dark figure I once walked with standing near my bed. They demanded that I return, but I cried for help. I cried day and night. I begged Jesus to save me from the powers I once served, and slowly the chains began to break. But before I was fully free, I witnessed one more operation that shook my soul forever. There was a politician. He was a rising leader. Many people loved him, but powerful enemies wanted his voice silenced. His photograph was brought to our meeting by a wealthy sponsor. We were told, stop his influence, make him tired and confused. That night, we performed a dangerous ritual. We placed his photo on the ground and stepped on it repeatedly, while speaking words of control. We called confusion into his mind. We declared public disgrace over him. Months later, he began making strange decisions. His speeches became disorganized. Scandals followed him. His reputation collapsed. I watched the news and knew the truth behind his fall. Power was being abused, and I was part of it. This was pure wickedness. A woman brought the wedding photo of her brother and his wife. She hated the wife and wanted their marriage destroyed. We separated the couple's image. We cut the photo into 2 pieces and performed ritual on each side. One part was buried in the ground, while the other was placed in a container of bitter substances. Soon after, their home was filled with constant arguments. Love turned into hatred. Peace became violence. Truth disappeared. They eventually separated. That night, when I returned home, something inside me broke. I could no longer pretend this was power. It was cruelty. People do not understand how easily they expose themselves. In the dark world, we celebrated when people posted clear pictures of their faces online. It made our work easier. Names, birthdays, and personal details strengthened the connection. Many operations began with social media images. I remember gathering where members would scroll through pictures, selecting targets, not because the victim did anything wrong, but because of jealousy, revenge, or pure hatred. Some victims were chosen randomly. Yes, randomly. That truth terrified me. One evening, after another ritual, using a young woman's photo, I could not sleep. Her face kept appearing before me. I saw her crying. I saw her future being destroyed. For the first time, I fell on my knees. I asked God to save me from this life. That prayer changed everything. Peace was slowly entering my life, and I began revealing the secrets I once protected. Another truth people must know. Sometimes, we did not even need your full photo. A passport picture, a family portrait, a wedding image, a child's school photo. Anything that clearly showed the face could be used. I remember one operation where we used a group photograph. We singled out one person from the crowd and targeted only him. The others in the photo were untouched. That is how precise the operation were. Even after living that life, the memories remain. I still see Daniel's ruined business. I still hear Grace's lonely prayers. I still remember the sick child's cry. I still feel the pain of broken homes. I cannot undo what I have done. All I can do now is speak the truth. But there are things I have not yet revealed. There are deeper operations, stronger rituals, and darker things we did with people's image that even many witches are afraid to discuss. Some involve objects taken from victims. Some involve dreams. Some involve the human shadow itself. And the most dangerous practice of all began the year before I escaped. a practice so powerful that even senior members fears it. We called it the shadow binding. It was no longer just about photos. We would trap a piece of one person's soul inside a dark vessel using their image, their dreams, their emotions, their very essence would become a prison. I watched this happen once. A woman's photo was placed under the altar, and as we chanted, her shadow in the image began moving on its own. It screamed silently. I had never seen fear like that before. Not in life, not in death. I wanted to run, but I stayed, because fear had changed me too tightly. That night, I finally understood the horror of what we did. We weren't just influencing lives, we were stealing them. Every laugh, every love, every blessing we touched with those photos became poisoned. And I realized something even darker. Every witch I knew, including myself, could have destroyed anyone's at any time. Family, friends, strangers, no one was safe. That power is real, and it is terrifying. I could not stay. I prayed. I repented. I cried like never before in my life. I begged Jesus to take me out of that darkness and forgive me for all the lives I have harmed. The path out was not easy. I was sick, broken, and haunted by my former companions. But step by step, the light came. One morning, I woke and the darkness felt distant. The fear was still there, but the power it once held over me was gone. I was free. Now I live with regret every day. I reach out to God and beg Him to heal people I have harmed. I pray for children, the couples, the men and women I attacked through photographs. I cannot undo the past, but I can warn others. My warning to you, if you post your pictures online, if you share them carelessly, you are exposing yourself in ways you cannot imagine. Envy, jealousy, and malice exist, and in the spiritual realm, people like I was can use your image to hurt you. Do not let strangers, enemies, or even acquaintances have access to your photos. Protect your image, protect your soul, and most importantly, seek the light of Jesus Christ, because only He can protect you from what I once said. I speak this now not for attention. I speak this because lives are at stake. I speak this because I know the pain I have caused, and I live with it every single day. I was a witch. I destroyed lives through photos, and now, by God's mercy, I am a servant of light, warning you before it is too late.